Hello everyone, my name is Pris from Prisperuses and welcome to another video. As you can see from the title and the thumbnail, it's that time of the month. It's time to play Topsy Turvy Teapot TBR. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, this is a TBR game that I play every month with the help of my trusty little teapots. If you want to know more about this, I will link the first edition of this, which I did last month, down below in the description. Go check it out. I will explain all the rules and the teapots in there. Before we dive in, I have to acknowledge the fact that we have a new teapot and it's amazing. We have a new addition to the family and it is this Winnie the Pooh teapot. Isn't that absolutely adorable? I absolutely love it. This is my new Patreon teapot because the little owl had to go. It had a little chip in it. I saw this at Primark and I absolutely fell in love with it. I love Winnie the Pooh and I love the little forget-me-not on it and it says be kind. So this is the new Patreon pot and I am very happy with it. For the month of June, I wanna of course mention that it is Whateverathon month. Guys, I am so excited for this readathon. Whateverathon is a fantastic readathon created by Maddie over a book browsing blog. I will link all the information down below. I am one of the hosts for Whateverathon and I am just so honored to be one. I am hosting Team TBR Travelers alongside Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin and Sandra from Got a Thing for Things. I want to go all out for Whateverathon. This is my main priority. I am just so excited for this. I also want to mention my own little readathon that I'm doing in the weekend of 4th and 5th of June. This is a Patreon only readathon called the Bear and Wolf Readathon. I'm collaborating with Sasha from the Wild Sasha for this. I will link my Patreon down below so you can check out if you're maybe interested in that. It is a readathon that centers all about our love for Slavic folklore. Because it is Whateverathon, I want to go all out. I'm a host. I need to make sure my team wins because I'm competitive, okay? So normally I roll 6 times. This time, because it's Whateverathon, I pledged 10 books. So I'm gonna roll 10 times. Bear in mind the tally. I'm gonna regret this, I know. So we could end up with a shit ton of books today. But before we dive in all these shenanigans, let's clear up this space and see how I did last month. So how did I actually do for the month of May? Do I need to pick a punishment from the toilet? Or do I get a reward from the candy house? This was my Topsy Turvy Teapot TBR for May. We had Rune of Kings, The Name of All Things, Nordic Tales, Rainbow Grey, Gallant, and The Kiss Quotient. And I can happily report that I read all of these. I wanted to make sure that I did because I'm not failing the first time round with my TBR game, okay? So I get to choose a reward from the candy house. So I get to pick a reward for my little candy cup. Let's go for this one. Treat yourself to a movie to the cinema. That is a very nice one and I will definitely do that. So you might see me catch a movie in one of the upcoming vlogs. Roll number 1 is a 1, which means fantasy. Let's add a little B to fantasy. For the very first roll, we landed on fantasy. Let us see what the Witch's Brew has in store for us. Let's go for this one. Let's see what it is. It is our very first prompt for the month of June. Read a book with the sword on the cover. We can definitely work with that. And into the little teacup it goes. So for roll number 1, a fantasy with a sword on the cover, I have decided to go for Sabriel by Garrett Nick. I am gonna make 2 people very happy and that is Ro and that is Cece. I do know nothing about this book other than I know that Ro and Cece really love this. This is about a girl called Sabriel and she needs to go and save her father from death. I think it sounds really good. It has like the teeniest sword here on the cover, and this is also a host favorite for Whateverathon, so it works out fine. Roll number 2 is 4, which is Booktube Besties. Let's add a little B to Booktube Besties. For the second roll, we landed on Booktube Bestie. Let's see if my friends are actually kind to me. Let's go for this one. Read a political fantasy, and this one is from Jade. We can definitely work with that. Into the little teacup it goes. Roll number 2, a political fantasy submitted by Jade. And of course I have to go for Memory of Souls by Jen Lyons. This is the 3rd book in the Course of Dragon series. And I am so excited for this, and it's gonna be fantastic. There is some political elements to this series, so I'm taking it. Yeah, this is one of Jade's all-time favorite series, so of course I had to pick this, and I wanna finish the series out in June because I'm doing a vlog for them, so I need to get these books on the TBR. Roll number 3. 5, which means Pris's pot. Let's add a little B to Pris pots. For the 3rd roll, we landed on Pris pot. Let us see what the penguin has in store. Let's go for this one. This is excellent. Read a book for a readathon. That could not have been more perfect. Amazing. And into the little cup it goes. Then we had read a book for a readathon. How perfect could it be? Of course it came from my own pot, and I'm choosing Discord of Gods by Jen Lyons because I want to get this series on the TBR. So I chose this book for obvious reasons, and it could work for Whateverathon for the prompt continuous series. So it works out perfectly, and I am just so excited. Roll number 4 is 3, which means Other. Let's add a little B to Other. For the 4th roll, we landed on Other. Let's see what we get. Let's go for this one. Read a book inspired by folklore or fairy tales. We can absolutely work with that. This is going great so far. Into the little teacup it goes. Next up we had the prompt, read a book inspired by folklore or fairy tales. I do not currently own the book, but I am planning on buying it. I want to read Russian tales for this. I think it will be a perfect book for the Bear and Wolf readathon. This is all about Russian folklore and fairy tales from the very old age, and I know this is a gorgeous illustrated edition because I saw it at Jade, and honestly I cannot wait to pick this up. Roll number 5 is 6, which is the Patreon pot. Let's add a little B to Patreon. This has now 3 Bs, which means I need to add an extra roll. For the 5th roll, we landed on Patreon pod, which is the new Winnie the Pooh pod. Let us see what the Patreons have in store for us. Let's go for this one. Read a book that's out of your comfort zone, and this was submitted by Jess. I definitely have some ideas for this. And into the little teacup it goes. For the 5th roll, we had read a book outside your comfort zone, and this was submitted by Jess, one of my lovely Patreons. And I am going for The Unlikely Escape of Uriah Heep. I know very little of this book. It is a book about books, which what attracts me to it, but it gives me a little bit of a historical fiction feel more than fantasy. I don't know necessarily if that is true, but I feel like this is a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I want to pick it up. I want to see what this is about, and also it is one of Beth's from Booknest favorite books, so it counts for a Whateverathon favorite host book. Roll number 6 is 6 again, which is the Patreon pot. Let's add a newbie to Patreon, which is now obviously cleared again. For the 6th roll, we landed on Patreon pot again. So let us see what the Patreons have in store for us. Let's go for this one. the moment you've all been waiting for. It's Lilli pick, and this was submitted by Kel and her shelf. Not gonna lie, I was hoping that this one would come up because honestly it's gonna be so much fun doing this with her. Into the little teacup it goes. I will insert the footage of Lilli picking a book for me right now. So Lilli is about to pick between these 3 books. This looks disgusting. I promise you there is some tape underneath the liquid snack, but Lilli only eats liquid snack. We have Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, Keeper of Velocity's Lodestar, and The Girl Who Speaks Bear by Sophie Anderson. If she wants to make my life easy, she picks Lodestar. We shall see what she does, and we're gonna get her right now. Walk by Lilli. Lilli, your snack is here. Lilli, there is your snack. Oh, yes. Lilli, it's right in front of you, baby. Oh, of course she does not make my life easy. Well, we have a winner. She chooses The Girl Who Speaks Bear by Sophie Anderson. Next up we all saw Lilli picking a book for me. This prompt was submitted by Cal and her shelves, one of my lovely Patreons, and Lilli chose The Girl Who Speaks Bear by Sophie Anderson for me. I've been meaning to reread this book for the longest time. I know the audiobook recently came out, so I'm very excited for that, and this is also perfect for the Bear and Wolf readathon. This is about a girl called Yanka. She one day wakes up with bear legs and she goes on an epic adventure to find out why. This is one of my all-time favorite middle grades and I cannot wait to reread it. Roll number 7 is 2, which is middle grade. Let's add a B for the very first time onto middle grade. For the 7th roll, we landed on middle grade finally. I believe that Mrs. Pop does not come up enough, but we're gonna see what she has in store for us. Let's go for this one. Read a book recommended by a non-booktuber. So a middle grade that is recommended by somebody who does not have a booktube channel. We can work with this. Into the little teacup it goes. Next up we picked from the middle grades pot, and it was a recommendation from somebody that does not have a booktube channel. If I think of somebody in the community that does not have her own channel, it is Cece. So I texted Cece and I asked her for a recommendation, and she came up with Adam 2. I've been meaning to read this for the very longest time. I've been putting this on so many TBRs and I still have not read this. This is a science fiction middle grade, and honestly there are not enough science fiction middle grades. This is also from the same author that wrote Orion Lost, which I absolutely love, and I'm so excited to be finally reading this. Roll number 8 is 5, which is Pris's pot. Let's add another B to Pris pot, which means another extra roll. For the 8th roll, we landed again on Pris's pot. This should be good again because it's my own pot. Let's go for this one. This is a really funny one. And it's a good one. It's a good one. Read a book from the hall that broke Waterstones. If you do not know what that is referring to, when I went to visit Jade during Polathon, we went to Waterstones, me, Steph, Gavin and Jade, and we actually bought so many books together that we broke the till at Waterstones. I know exactly which book I'm gonna pick for this. Into the little teacup it goes. Next prompt did make me laugh because it was the prompt, read a book from the hall that broke the till at Waterstones, and I have the perfect book for that because I am choosing Mordew, and this is a book I need to be reading anyways in June because it is our book club pick for JPEGs_book club. It is a Patreon only book club hosted by myself, Gavin, Jade and Steph. I am so excited for this. On the back it says, God is dead, his corpse hidden in the catacombs beneath Mordew. That's all I wanted to know. I picked this up during the haul that broke the till at Waterstone, so it is perfect for this prompt. Roll number 9 is 3, which means other. Let's add another B to other, which means again an extra roll. Guys, this is getting out of hand. For the 9th roll, we landed on other again. Let us see what we can do with this. I'm gonna go for this one. Ooh, we can work with this. Read what you think will be a quick read. That will probably be a quick romance for me. Into the little teacup it goes. Next prompt was read a book that you think will be a quick read, and this came from the other pot. The other pot means that it cannot be a middle grade and it cannot be a fantasy. So I'm scooching over a little bit again because I do not own the book, but it is on its way. I'm choosing for The Bride Test by Hella Huang. I read The Kissed Quotient during the month of May. I absolutely fell head over heels in love with that book. That book is so special to me. And I want to read the rest of that series. I know it's not considered a series, but they are companion novels. But I want to get to them, and they're gonna be like such a nice palette cleanser between all the heavy fantasy that I have going on. I'm very excited about that. Roll number 10 is 4, which means Booktube Bestie. Let's add another B to Booktube Besties, which means again another roll. For the 10th roll, we landed on Booktube Bestie again. Let us see what it has in store for us. Let's go for this one. Oh no. Oh no. I can already see the name. What am I gonna do, guys? Read a book with something phallic on the cover. And of course this is from Gavin. Of course this is Gavin. Gavin, I hate you. But I'm gonna find something. Into the little teacup it goes. Next up, I picked Gavin's prompt from the Booktube Bestie pot, which of course was something very inappropriate, and it was something phallic on the cover. Y'all gonna laugh at me for this one, but I chose The House of Always by Jen Lyons because it has tentacles. I am taking this, okay? I am taking this. I will take this. This is my game, okay? I can do with this. This is the 4th one in the series. I've already talked about it. The other books are on the TBR. I managed to get all of them on there. Holy shit, what am I going to do myself? I'm gonna kill myself, I think. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I'm very excited about this. This was for the prompt, something phallic on the cover. Gavin, thank you, and I hate you. Rule number 11 is 3, which is other. Luckily other has just been cleared, so we'll add a little B to that. Back to other again for the 11th roll. I feel like we're getting there, folks. We're getting there. Let's go for this one. Read a book with an Arctic setting. I have an idea for this. And into the little teacup it goes. Then we picked read a book with an Arctic setting from the other prompt, and I am choosing The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. I have read The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, which was incredible. Sobbed my eyes out completely. I still have not picked this up, but I've been meaning to do for the longest time. And when I saw this prompt, this was immediately the book I thought about, because this book is actually set in Alaska. I'm very excited for this. This is gonna be a tearjerker, no doubtly. I'm happy that I'm finally getting to it. Roll number 12 is 4, which is Booktube Bestie. Let's add another B to Booktube Besties. Roll number 12, Booktube Besties again. Let's go and find out what the next prompt is. This looks really weird. Has a small opening. That's what she said. Read a book that matches your knitting project, and this is from Rye. Now I currently don't have a knitting project, but I can work with the colors of my last knitting project, so we can work with this. Into the little teacup it goes. Then we have the prompt that Rye submitted from Rye's Reading Corner. She submitted the prompt, read a book that matches your current knitting project. I currently don't have a knitting project going on. But the last project I did was purple with teal, and I made that for Sophie Anderson. I couldn't find a book that was both purple and teal, but I did find a book that is very purple. So I'm rolling with it, and that is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I cannot believe I am finally going to read this. After Throne of Glass, this book has been on my TBR the longest. But I'm finally doing it because I'm doing a shadow along with my lovely Patreons. We're gonna dive into the Shadowhunter world together. And I am scared, anxious, but also excited. We'll see how this goes. Roll number 13 is 3, which is again Other. Another B for Other, which is getting dangerous again. Roll number 13. We are nearly there, guys. We are nearly there. Let me see. No, I wanted to dig deeper. That's what she said. This one. Alright. Read a book published before 2022. Many options there. The next prompt was again from the other pot, and it was the prompt read a book published before 2022. I had a little bit of a look and I saw that The Heart Principles, I will scooch over again, by Hella Hong was published in 2021. So when I saw that, I got very lucky because I thought it was 2022, but it wasn't. It was last year, and therefore I can read it for this prompt. I'm so excited to be reading both Hella Hong's book this month, and it's gonna be such a fun ride. What is hopefully the 14th and final roll? 2, which is middle grade. Thank goodness. And the final B we are adding to middle grade. Thank goodness. And finally, for the final roll, we landed on middle grade. Let us see what Mrs. Teapot is adding to the TBR. Let's go for this one. Read a book that starts with a prologue. I know exactly what I'm picking for this. And into the teacup it goes. And then for the very final roll, holy shit, I landed on read a book that has a prologue from the middle grade pot. And I am choosing Keeper of the Lost Cities, Nightfall. This is the 6th book in the Keeper of the Lost City series. I have talked about these books many times. These are a reread for me. I am doing a keeper along in anticipation for the new book coming out in November. And we're on to the 6th book, which is Nightfall. All these books have a prologue, and I am so excited to continue the series again. Oh my god! This is the TBR. Bear in mind that this is not everything, because I still have the Russian Tales book plus the 2 Helen Hong books that I'm adding to this. I am slightly concerned, and I think I will die in June. It was nice to meet ya. This is ridiculous. Why am I doing this to myself? But you know, I wanna win. I wanna win Whateverathon, okay? I'm very competitive, so we're gonna do this, okay? We're gonna do this. I will just not sleep anymore. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Ooh. It's strong. It's very strong. I am concerned, guys. A little bit concerned. That was it, guys. That was the June edition. Are you gonna participate in Whateverathon? Which team are you gonna be on? Which book are you most excited to read in June? Do let me know down below in the comments. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I am gonna leave you for now, but me and my trusty teapots will get back to you next month. Bye!